Hoş geldiniz çocuklarım ve hepsini yeni öğrencilerim. Welcome my children and all new students. I'm glad you joined us today because we are starting to read a brand new book entitled Rigel and Piper Shout to Africa by R.J. McCutcheon. Remember, when we last met here at the library, we looked at all the pictures to try and figure out what the book is about. Now, we are pretty sure that Piper is a veterinarian and that Rigel is some sort of game warden or park ranger because they are both working with wild animals in Africa. Somehow, knights, castles, and a dragon get included in this story, but the pictures can't tell us how. For that, we have to start reading. Hazirmian, are you ready? Chapter 1. Between the Beats.
Piper! Piper! Huh? Oh, that's me. Wow, weird dream. And I just fell asleep. Where are we? This isn't a farm. Piper! Piper McCutcheon from California. Yes! Yes, I'm here. Can I help you with something? Hi, I'm Malcolm. Dr. Zeynep sent me to fetch you. Oh, okay. This doesn't look like a farm. No. The farm is 20 miles down the track. You didn't miss it. I just wanted to get to the field station early, and this little whistle stop is the closest to where we need to go. So you left in the middle of the night to get here in time to flag the train down? No, I spent the night with my sister over the hill. Made it just in time to put the flag bar up 100 yards down the track. Then they stopped the train here at this road. Oh, okay. Now hurry up and have a porter bring your bags out. It's going to take the rest of the morning to drive to the station, and it's about to get pretty warm. Will do. I'll be out in just a minute.
Baobab Station, the primo place for zebra research in the entire world, Piper said to herself, and it's my home for the next year.
What would Rigel think if he could see me here, disembarking a smelly old village train in the middle of nowhere after stopping at every mud hut along the tracks? I bought some trinkets but stayed away from the food. I know my stomach isn't strong enough for it yet.
Now I'm joining a British farmer in his horse-drawn vegetable cart for the rest of the trip while keeping a sharp lookout for lions because I'm in Africa.
This will show Rigel I'm not some fancy little horse vet who can only prescribe water massages to expensive derby contenders. I'm a real doctor too. Asante, thank you. Here you go. Asante sana, asante sana. How much did you give him? 10 cardos. 10 cardos? He would have been happy with 1. Maybe crypto's easier to come by in your country. How was the train ride? You know, you could have flown straight to the station instead of taking the postal train from Dar es Salaam. It does stop absolutely everywhere. I noticed. But I wanted to see the countryside.
And I promised my mother not to fly on any rickety little planes that could fall apart at any second, Piper added to herself.
Is it really going to take 4 hours to drive to the station? She asked Malcolm. Yes, miss, about 4. You could do it in less than an hour on one of those zippy little quad bikes the game chasers buzz around on. But with old Phoenix here, we'll be lucky to get there by noon. Well, I am a horse doctor, and in that suitcase I do have several hundred doses of equine adrenaline, if you feel like getting there faster, Piper said with a smirk. Smart thinking, young lady. But on this road, even a slow trot would knock all the vegetables out of the cart, and this food is going to be your supper for the next 2 weeks. That, and of course...
It would kill him, Malcolm and Piper say in unison with a mutual laugh.
Okay, a walking pace it must be. Can't have any bruises on those potatoes. I'm sure I'll enjoy the ride, Piper said as she hopped on board the cart. How long have you lived in Africa, Malcolm? My whole life. My great-great-grandfather came here from England in the late 1800s. There were no roads and certainly no trains back then. They drove their huge wagons pulled by a dozen oxen each down elephant trails. Wow, that's intense. Do you know why they did it? I mean, even modern Africa is dangerous. I can't imagine moving my family through the wilderness to an untouched rift valley. Because between the beats, Malcolm said softly to himself before adding to Piper. Well, things weren't going so great back in England. So they just packed up and left? Did they even know where they were going? No, not really, which is why they accidentally came too far south. It's a good thing my great-great-grandmother was a feisty little frau, because after just a few years, this land became German East Africa. She convinced the Schutztruppen commander to let them stay, even though all their moving expenses were paid courtesy of the British Empire. Good to have a German grandma. Yes, it was. When my great-great-grandparents got here to Tanzania, all they had to do was pay the local chief like 100 cardano, or the price of a simple pistol, for him to show them the best freshwater stream. Then they went about claiming the 25,000 acres surrounding it as their personal homestead. 25,000 acres? That's what, about 40 square miles? And they just claimed it as their own? That's kind of messed up. White American settlers only got 1 square mile of so-called free native land, and that was if they claimed it as a family of 4. I guess they should have come to Africa. How many African chiefs agreed to the deal? Not. I think in America you'd call that a big fat 0. It didn't take long for the Africans to realize they had been cheated, did it? No, not long at all. And over a century later we are still trying to heal. Where was that spring your grandparents claimed? Baobab Falls. For the next year my family home will be your home. How about you, Miss Piper? What brings you to Africa? Can't exactly say. I just graduated from the University of California, Davis as a doctor of veterinary medicine with a focus on equine health. I always planned on working at a big thoroughbred horse stable, but here I am. I just had to come to Africa first. Between the beats of every man's heart. What?
Oh, it's an old family saying. If we still used a crest, you could consider this our motto. Between the beats of every man's heart hides the shout, "To Africa!" My grandparents heard the voice speaking. You apparently heard it too. And just like them, here you are.
I guess I did. I think it's going to be an interesting year.
In the pool with my face. I got my wig wet. I got a wig wet.